Hello everyone. Welcome back to PNL channel where we create content with practical IT solutions. If our videos are helpful to you, kindly subscribe to this channel, click the thumbs up button and let us know in the comment section what you would like to see. In this video, we will be installing and configuring the OpenStack services Nova and Neutron on the compute nodes. We have two compute nodes in our environment, which we will be using to demonstrate the live migration of instances. So, the compute node runs the hypervisor portion of the compute that operates the instances. The compute resources uses KVM hypervisor by default. The compute node also runs Neutron, which is the networking service agent that connects instances to virtual networks and provides firewall services to instances via security groups. Firewalls meaning like on your Windows, we have what we call Windows firewall that you can use to prevent external access the to the Windows desktop or laptop or servers, whichever is being used in your environment. The compute node can be deployed using more than one nodes. That means you can have several nodes to be able to increase your compute resources and also migration of your live migration of your instances in the event that you want to perform you want to perform maintenance on your in your environment. So let's dive right in. So before we do anything, well, basically the first thing we do is to install Crony, which is the time service that is used to synchronize the time between all the compute node resources. So, so first we're going to install Crony. We're going to install Crony on both nodes. Okay, so that has been done. The next thing is we're going to set the time zone to make sure you set it to your own local time zone. All right. Next, we're going to comment out the default pool because the default pool doesn't match our environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our local time server into the crony.conf file. Okay. Do the same for the second. Okay, next we restart the Crony service. Okay. Next we check the crony sources. Okay, looks good. Okay, that aligns with my local time. Beautiful. So next what we're going to do is we're going to ensure the Linux operating system kernel supports network bridge filters by verifying all the following sysctl values are set to 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this lsmod. Okay, so we do what we call a mode probe because this does not return it does not return any value, so we're going to run the mode probe net filter on each of the compute nodes, and then we now run this command here, echo br net filter. Then we run this. This is to allow allow us to use the virtual IP or the virtual host name to communicate with, for the compute nodes to be able to communicate with the controller nodes using the virtual IP or uh, virtual host name or virtual IP. Okay, so after we've completed that, next we're going to now install the certificates on the compute nodes. So what we're going to do is create this SSL folder and then create the folders where we're going to add all the necessary certificates. So we go to the controller node and copy the oh my bad, I have to go into the SSL directory before I can copy that. Right, so I copy it to the second compute nodes as well. Okay, all done. So next we're going to go to the compute nodes and move the files that we copied. Next we're going to copy the random seed. Where is my compute from the compute nodes? Sorry, from the controller node to the compute node. Okay, that has been completed. Next we will go back to the compute nodes and then move the random seed file to their respective next we're going to copy the key files from the controller node to the compute nodes. Okay, that is complete. Next we're now going to copy the key file okay. Next we're going to move the since we copied it into the home folder of the Ultracom user, we're now going to move those files to their respective folders. Okay, next we're now going to change ownership. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add the CA file. What we're going to do is add the CA file to this CA dash certificates.crt. Okay. Next, we're going to copy the CA cert to the /user /local/share CA certificates. We're going to add it to we're going to copy them into their respective folders or directory, and then we update the certificates. Okay, as you can see, once is added and the other one is added. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to install all the OpenStack package, which is Python 3 OpenStack clients, Python 3 MySQL, and MariaDB clients to access the database backend. Okay, that is complete. Next, we're going to install the compute nodes components for Nova service. Okay, that has been concluded. Next, we're going to configure the compute node. We're going to configure the Nova service on the compute node. But first, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to configure the database. So first, we're going to comment out the SQLite portion of it. And also, we're going to comment out the log path because we're going to add a specific log path to the configuration. So next we're going to configure the database. So with Nova, there are two types of um, uh, database connectivity. There is the API database connectivity, and then the regular database connectivity as we configured in previous videos on the controller node. Okay. Next, we're going to configure the API underscore database as well. It is supposed to be Nova underscore API. Okay, next we're going to configure the use neutron under the default section. So we're going to use so what we're basically going to do is we're going to add this configuration here. Oh my bad. This is supposed to be 124, not 123. We need to be very careful with this configuration. We're going to add it to plugin timeout. Going to do the same thing for this. Next, we configure the transport URL, which is the RabbitMQ for messaging services. Okay, so that has been done. Next, we're going to configure the authentication for the API. Authentication strategy, which is Keystone. Then we're going to add the keystone authentication. Mm, 23 2737. Okay. Next, we're going to add the KVM, which is what we're going to be using to communicate with the instances. Next, we're going to configure the VNC. VNC is the same as the remote desktop in Windows, so you can have access to your instances via the browser. Also, we're going to now add the ability for the compute node to be able to access the glance, to be able to have access to the images. So as you can see here, we're going to be using RBD, which is our Ceph storage backend. Next, we're going to add the API server. Which is going to be our what we're going to be using to connect to the glance backend. We're also going to add the certificates. So what we're going to do is we're going to be adding the certificates. Let me see where the okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add the cert file. Next, we're going to add the key file. And Finally, we are going to add the certificate authority file, which is the CA file. So next we're going to add the log path. As we mentioned earlier on, the log path is meant to be on the under the Oslo concurrency section. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add the placement configuration. Alrighty. Now, what we're going to do is the configuration here is complete for the nova.conf file. We save the file and then we restart the compute node. Oh, sorry, we restart Nova on the compute node. So, but first we need to change mode on the private /etc SSL private folder so that we can have access to, so that the Nova user can have access to that folder. If not, we will get some errors. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to run this command on the compute node, so that way we'll be able to test if the configuration is correct. As we can see, it says it found 2 cell mappings. Getting compute node in cell, found 0 on mapped compute node, so we need to do some troubleshooting. Okay, as we can see, we have our compute node registered in the compute service list. So we run the OpenStack compute service list, and then we found out that our configuration here is complete. Therefore, I hope this video has been informative for you. We hope to see you in the next video, where we are going to be configuring the Neutron service for on the compute nodes. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and let us know what you think about this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Thank you.